and absolutely nowhere to hide behind your resume or your bank account or your glowing reputation.
Nowhere to hide at all. It's a pretty intense thought.
Right. So welcome to this deep dive into Dr. Pramod Ambadasrao Pawar's novel, The Pativrata, the Prostitute, the Pramod
That's
Effect.
such a fascinating title, honestly.
It really is. And our mission today is to unpack how this story uses two radically different women to basically tear down societal hypocrisy. Plus, we're going to explore a literal mathematical equation for spiritual liberation.
Which is definitely not your average courtroom drama.
No, definitely not. So, okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at two women living in the same city.
Yeah.
First, we have Satva. She's rich, secure, and what society calls a Pativrata.
Which is like the ultimate devoted, perfect wife.
Exactly, the perfect wife. Except she's secretly having a long-term affair with an investor in her husband's business.
Yeah, living a total double life. And then you have Jayashree. Her reality is the exact opposite. A catastrophic train derailment kills her family and leaves her husband permanently paralyzed. So to afford his life-saving medicine and just, basic food, she is forced into prostitution.
So you have the so-called perfect wife who is living a complete lie.
Yeah.
And the socially condemned woman who is acting out of pure devotion.
Exactly.
And to prove why those labels are just completely useless, the book drops both of them into this wall-less afterlife tribunal after they die.
Which is such a brilliant narrative device.
It is. Now, when I read this, my mind immediately went to classic Western literature, like Tolstoy or Dostoevsky. Because in those older masterpieces, the quote-unquote fallen woman always needs some grand Christian penance.
Right, or she's just like a plot device to help the male lead find his moral compass.
Yes. But here, Jayashree doesn't need some knight in shining armor to swoop in and save her.
No, she doesn't. What's fascinating here is that this divine court couldn't care less about human social hierarchies. I mean, it only measures absolute truth. So Jayashree actually saves herself. Her redemption is just the natural, logical result of her selfless devotion.
Wait, so if Jayashree wins because of her pure intent, Satva is in serious trouble, right? I mean, she had the money, the safety, the agency, and she chose to lie just to protect her status.
Bingo. Satva used her social virtue as a shield. But in this wall-less room, that shield it evaporates.
It's gone.
Yeah. She's forced into a really harsh cosmic confrontation with her own hypocrisy.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. This judgment isn't just good vibes or, cosmic karma. It operates on an actual metaphysical equation called the Pramod effect.
The math of spiritual liberation.
Right, and the formula is literally 1 minus 1 equals 0 equals 1. Now, I barely survived high school algebra, so I'm going to need you to explain how 0 magically becomes 1.
Fair enough. Let's break it down. So that first one represents your worldly ego. Think about your life right now, listening to this. What is your 1? Your job title, your pride, your perfect image. The -1 is the painful part. That's life systematically stripping away those pretenses, usually through sacrifice or suffering.
Okay, so 1 minus 1 brings you to 0. You have absolutely no ego left.
Right. And here's the mechanism for why 0 becomes 1 again. In this philosophy, hitting absolute 0, being completely empty of ego, is the exact trigger that reconnects you to the universe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that final one is universal oneness. Jayashree gave up everything, her pride, her reputation, to hit 0, and she unlocked that oneness.
Oh, I see. And Satva completely failed the assignment. She refused to subtract anything.
Exactly.
She clung to her pristine reputation at all costs, avoided the -1 of telling the truth so she never reached 0. The math just broke.
Right. She held on to the illusion and the equation failed. And the novel emphasizes this with these surreal, almost glitch-in-the-matrix moments.
Oh, yeah, the synchronicity motifs, like that clock that keeps freezing at exactly 11.22.
Which is brilliant because it's literally stopping linear time to force the characters into a moment of self-reflection.
And then there's that mysterious railway ticket. It just appears out of nowhere with a warning printed on it.
Yeah.
Every label has a cost.
I love that part.
It's like a literal metaphysical receipt for their life choices.
It really is. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the novel is telling us that earthly titles are entirely fake. True worth isn't about what polite society calls you.
Right.
It's about your internal intent, your agency, and how honestly you navigate your choices when absolutely no one is watching.
Which brings us to the end. The book intentionally leaves a lot of lingering questions. So think about this as you go about your day. We spend our entire lives desperately trying to add to our one, Getting a better job, buying a bigger house, chasing a fancier title.
Always adding.
Always. But if the math of this universe is right, the only way to actually win the game is to figure out how to lose on purpose.